What's up, YouTube? Decided to do another video. I was going to do the Sharp Owl 140H Splash and Go stones, which is the 1000, 6000 grit, but I haven't gotten them yet. It should happen tomorrow or the next day. What I did decide to do was yesterday it ended kind of on a bad note with this Nakiri, however you want to say it. I can't ever say it right. But I hit this clamp. I got a bunch of clamps here because this is my bench where I do like a lot of knife work. Got my drill press and stuff here, and I'm going to end up moving this stuff at some point because it's going to be a dedicated sharpening station. But I wanted to go ahead and give this kind of a redemption. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to use that King 1000 stone. I dulled the knife, so I mean you can see here I'm running my hand on it. It is 100% sharp. I'm not cut, not bleeding, no worries, no nothing. I'll go ahead and try and cut a piece of paper here. But what I'll do is I'll run it on this King 1000 again. I got like nothing. And then I'll do the inexpensive 2000 grit Proyan glass stone. And I don't know if you guys saw that video yesterday, but like I said, don't compare it to Shapton glass, but think of it as its own stone. And it actually does a pretty nice job for what it is. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started on this. And what we got, like I said, this King Deluxe 1000 has been soaking 10 minutes. I actually flattened it. I don't know that it really needed it, but I went ahead and flattened it anyway, just to kind of be completely fair. And we'll get started. So that nick yesterday, I ended up looking at it on the little Amazon inexpensive microscope I have here. I actually put a pretty good dent in the bevel, so that was not fun. It was kind of stupid on my part, but hey, you do what you do, right? I'm gonna go ahead and turn on this light. Hopefully that doesn't interfere with the video too much. So for all those that are new to sharpening, I'm going to kind of do some technique demonstration. So as I had said yesterday, one of the ways to find your angle, the way I do it now is I just, from experience, put the stone down and I look for how the bevel meets the stone. You can see like the way the light reflects off of it and stuff. You can kind of see how it actually meets, you know, with its angles here. And if you look at it beforehand and get an idea what it looks like, you can kind of judge that for yourself. But the other way to do it is to tilt your knife blade up, drag it forward towards you slowly. As it's dragging, tilt it backwards. As soon as it slips just a little bit, that's your angle. And then just bring it up just a hair and go ahead and start your strokes. So again, these are push strokes. Well, it's a lot more grippy without an actual edge from the factory there. I like to do, as I said the other day, the 10 count. And by doing a 10 count, I mean forward and backward is 1, forward and backwards is 2. And if you're starting out, go slow. I'm going to probably say that every time. There is no harm in going slow. It's going to ensure that you maintain your angle, because if you do good for 6 strokes, and then on one of them you kind of come up a little too much or you go down a little too much, you're going to end up being inconsistent and ruining your edge that you're creating. It's all about consistency. Speed will come later. So I already did about 10, but I'll just do 10 more. When I move up to the next section, count to 10. And the next section, you can cover more ground than I'm actually covering here. But I like to kind of, what I do is a knife this size, I don't all the time, but I'll break it up into about fourths, right? Or not fourths, but fours, you know. So I got 4, or I'm sorry, 1, not 4. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. One of the things we did notice yesterday was this bad grind, which on another video I'll fix that. Today I'm just redeeming the sharpening. I'm also going to announce the giveaway. But just to kind of give a redemption for this knife, redemption for the stones, and for my technique, because I promise you I do better than I did yesterday. So again, nice and slow. You don't have to speed. You're not racing anyone. It's just you down here. And like I said on that video, I really enjoy doing this. I go around asking people if I can sharpen their knives, and I won't even charge them sometimes. I love doing it that much. I have taken on some clients that do pay me. I'm trying not to make it be too much work where you do what you love for work and then you don't love it anymore. I don't know if it'd ever get that way for me with this because there's just a certain thing about it. I don't know. It makes me feel connected. It's so silly. But anyway, if anybody else feels the same, let me know. And then what I do is I'll do it over again, which I kind of started there, and then I'll go backwards, right? By backwards, I mean just back up the knife the way I came, right? And then after I do that, I'll check the burr. For any of those watching that don't know what that is, whenever you're sharpening a knife, you're grinding metal away, and it's forming a burr, a piece of metal that's pushed and being extended and pushed and folding to the other side of the knife. You can tell that you've raised a burr simply by running your fingers over the other side, which I'll show you in a second. And then whenever you feel that you created a burr, you can actually start moving on to the other side. Depends on what you're wanting to do. You can actually keep going a little bit more after that if you want to. But rinse the knife off. And then so you're sharpening on this side, so flip over to this side, and I just take the pads of my finger and I run it down like this. And I can feel that there's resistance there. There's an edge, a ledge, whatever you want to call it. But it's not a whole lot. It's very, very minute. So you can see all this metal here on the stone, which I know I'm taking metal off, but I haven't taken off enough yet. So we'll just go ahead and we'll do that whole process over again. Just follow the same thing, same way. You don't have to change anything. Just count to 10. You can find something that works good for you. That just has always been a good one for me, is counting to 10. It seems to be a good middle ground number. I've seen some people do more. I've seen some do less. Another thing too, it kind of depends on how much pressure that you use on the knife. So when you are moving your hand, you'll see my other hand here. It's to help, one, guide the push. Number two, to help focus on the area that needs to be worked on, right? Since I've already done up here. And it does put some pressure on the blade against the stone. Because if you're just doing it light like this, you'll get there eventually, but you're not going to do very much very fast. But what I'm not doing is I'm not pressing hard and trying to push my fingers through the knife into the stone, because you'll ruin the edge and you'll like gouge, and you'll hear this. If you're not familiar with sharpening, haven't heard terms before, you hear dish. You'll dish the stone. Dishing the stone, of course, means you'll make it look like a dish, and you're eroding it away because you're not sharpening and using the whole stone, as well as you're pushing really hard into it and eroding away more stone than you need to. So we're back down here, and we'll move up. I'm not going to leave anybody in suspense. So what I plan to do with the giveaways that I mentioned is I'm going to, at 500 subscribers, I'm going to give away probably one of these inexpensive Japanese knives. I might give away, a couple, let's say Gyoto and a Petty, or a Gyoto and a Nakiri, a Santoku and a Nakiri, something. I'll figure that out, but it will be at least one of them. And what I'll do is, instead of just giving one or one set away, I'll give away a couple to those that are subscribed to my YouTube channel. And what I'll do also, and you don't have to, and I hate it whenever I hear YouTubers do this, but if you make a small donation, I'll increase the number of your votes, or I'm sorry, not votes, entries into the drawing. I'll increase it by 5 per dollar. Let's say, well, I better not do that, because that can get pretty unfair. Each donation will be a flat 10 entries into the giveaway. So here we are checking the burr again. And I have a pretty good burr development up here, but it's less down here. So whenever you see that, go back to that area that has less development and work on it. What I'll do though is I'll go through the whole knife and not just that one area, just to make it even, right? Kind of bring it all together. But back to that pressure thing. So yeah, I'm resting my hand on the knife, and I'm giving very gentle pressure. So I am pushing a little bit. I'm just not pushing very much. So that way it's just nice and even. That's another key in consistency, right? Make sure that your pressure is even all the way through. And there, that's a pretty good development. I'll do a little bit more on the back. It's pretty good too, but I just want to make sure. Sometimes you'll notice, so the best way to grip this, I didn't say this at first, I'm sorry. And I found the easiest way to do it, and a lot of people do it this way, and you can find what way works for you. But wrap your fingers around the handle, put a thumb here and a finger on the spine like this. That helps you balance it out, helps you keep it steady and even. But sometimes when you get up here, which I do, I've got short stubby fingers, it doesn't always work. I'll run, because I'm too far up, I'll run this finger on the back. So what I'll do is I'll just grip it like this, making sure I'm just consistent. Still got my thumb here, and then I just do the movements. You may not be able to do that consistently at first. It takes practice just like anything else, but you'll get it. And you may not have to. It may be natural for you to do it the other way. The angle too that you're on the stone as well is pretty important. It helps with your scratch pattern, the cut consistency. So usually I do it at about this angle, 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, something like that. Sometimes you'll see me when I move to the other side, I'll actually do it like this. So I'm literally, horizontal. But for the most part, everything's going to be about the 5 and 4 o'clock region. It just seems to be the best results, honestly. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know the exact reasoning for do that. I do know the direction of the scratch pattern helps with cutting, and it helps in some way. Once I find that out, I'll update a video, or I'll do a video and explain that. But now that I've got this burr and it's even, and it's the same across the whole knife, what I'll do is I'll flip this thing over. Actually, you know what? Just for good measure, and it doesn't hurt to do this, I'm going to go one more pass. It's not going to hurt anything. It feels pretty good, but I want to make sure I give it the best edge possible. So this one I'm going to do fast. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it. So the steel, if you guys didn't see the other video about these knives, the steel on these knives is 420J stainless steel. They are inexpensive Japanese knives. They're $9 at TJ Maxx and roughly the same price on Amazon. You can find them. The brand is Tsenyu, T-S-E-N-Y-U, but Subazo is another brand name for them, T-S-U-B-A-Z-O. You can find them pretty cheap on Amazon. Like I said, Home Goods, TJ Maxx, that's where I got these, was TJ Maxx. Normally it's Home Goods for me, but TJ Maxx had them this time. So anyway, the burr, we are good to go. I don't do it left-handed. Some people do. I'm trying to teach myself, but I'm not going to do this and screw up while we're doing the video here. So the way I've always done it, and it works, is I just flip the knife over on this side, same kind of angle, find the bevel. I'll do it the same, I don't have to, but find the bevel angle that you want, get a little bit of a slip, and then bring it up just a little bit, and then all you do is just rinse and repeat. So it's the same thing in reverse, well, with the knife flip, not in reverse, I guess. You'll notice kind of I'm more of a, probably a 4, 5 o'clock region there. And it's just because of the nature of holding it this way. But the same thing, I'll count to 10. I'll move down to the next section. Same pressure. I'm speeding it up a little bit here because I don't want this to be a 2-hour video. I'm sure you guys don't want to sit here for that. But one of the things, like I said, I plan on doing is a lot of different videos that mix things up, right? So I'm going to call them videos for the people. By that I mean I'm going to take some really inexpensive knives and some really inexpensive stones and get them sharpened up. I'm going to sharpen some expensive knives with some inexpensive stones, and I'm going to sharpen some inexpensive knives with some expensive stones. So as I said on the video yesterday, I'm going to quit referring to that because I think I've done it 97 times today. Whenever you are sharpening, and your burr develops on your first side, right? So on this side. When you flip it over, the first pass, you're going to feel a good sized burr and think that you're done. Greg Blythe of Never a Dull Moment actually said it best. If you spend a lot of time on the first side, you flip it over, and then this other side, instant burr, that doesn't really set right, because why shouldn't you have to spend, it's the same steel, why can't you spend the same amount of time on that to get that burr? Well, it's because that burr folded over, and then you flipped it over by doing the opposite side. So spend the same amount of time you do on this second side as you did the first side, and you'll guarantee that you've got an even sharpen. I call it even sharpen, but an even bevel. My English not good. Man, I've done that twice now. Gosh. I did that yesterday too. I don't think I did it on screen, but that's why you need to pay attention to what you're doing. I think I got a gouge. If you slip off the stone, you can completely wreck everything that you did. I don't think that I did. It seems okay. I'm gonna do it twice just to make sure. But yeah, if you drag your stone completely off, you're gonna go down, and it's gonna put any damage on that edge. So just be careful. Pay attention. I didn't. So I'm still waiting to hear what you guys' favorite stones are. I want to know your favorite cheap ones, and I want to know your favorite super expensive ones, or just more costly ones, I guess. Because if I don't have them, I'm going to go buy them. I'm going to do videos on them. I'm a stone junkie. I have 47 or over 47 stones now. I don't need that many stones. I don't think anybody needs that many stones. Maybe if you're a professional sharpener that does kitchen knives, swords, pocket knives, etc. But I don't need that many stones. I got them though. I started getting into the Japanese natural stones. I'm going to do some videos on those with these inexpensive knives. They actually do really good with them too. I mean, why wouldn't they? But I just got an Aoto, however you say that, natural from Bernal Cutlery. They had B stock Aotos that have like maybe chips and stuff in them, but they're good to go. It was 75 bucks, and those can be expensive. So I'm feeling for the burr here. Significant burr on this side again, because this side was flipped. I'm going to do a real quick swipe on this side, just for good measure, because I did 3 on the opposite side. I'm going to do this one just kind of quick. Then I'm going to go and I'm going to do burr removal on the stone. You can do burr removal with a strop. You can do burr removal with a piece of cork. You can do burr removal with balsa wood. And what you would do is simply take those items, at least like a hard felt cork or balsa wood, and then you would drag the blade right through that lightly. Don't put any pressure on it, and it'll rip that burr off. And I said it that way on purpose because ripping the burr off can actually give you more of a jagged edge than you might want. If your goal is a super smooth edge, I don't recommend it. I recommend doing this step here. So take your knife, put it on there, get your same sharpening angle, and with light pressure, not very much at all, and I'll just guide it like this because I'll kind of balance it out here. This is going to be edge leading strokes. Edge leading is whenever the edge goes in first. Trailing is whenever it goes backwards. So edge leading strokes, and then just gently for the length of the knife. And then you just do it. I do this 5 times at first. So that would be counting as 1. So this side and then that side would be 1. So this is 2. And again, just gentle pressure. Make sure you got water on your stone. You want it to be all lubed up, you know what I'm saying? It's never a good day when it's not lubed up. Whatever innuendo you want. There's 3. So what we're doing is we're just gently removing that burr. So the burr, if left on, would actually make your knife super dull because it's a folded up piece of metal essentially at this point that's folded over the apex. So I think we all know what it's like If you get a knife that's got something that's protecting the blade, if you tried to cut with that on there, it's not going to cut anything. Or if it does, it's going to do it extremely bad. I couldn't find the right way to say it. It'd do it badly. You don't want that. So the burr, yeah, it feels pretty removed. It's not as significant anyway. It's, there might be a little bit left. So if you feel that there is a little bit left, it's okay to do some more strokes. Some people do 10. I'm just going to do like 7. So this will be 6. And then what we'll do is stropping strokes. So stropping strokes, it's just like it sounds. That's going to be edge trailing, not leading. So you take your knife, at the same sharpening angle. I do it this way. I just always have. I don't have a good rhyme or reason to why. I just always have. Like I said too, I don't know why I do those J patterns. On that other side, I've seen people do it, and I just started doing it, and I can't quit it. If I think about it, I can. It just feels wrong if I don't. I've done it all this time. How long have those of you that have been sharpening, how long have you been sharpening? What got you into sharpening? See, I did it there with thinking about it. So like for me, the reason that I started sharpening was because I like Japanese tradition. I also like sharp knives, but for a long time, as a kid, I would get those pot metal, at least that's what it seemed like, Rambo survival knife clones. Those things were terrible, but they give you that little sharpening stone in the side of your survival kit that was part of that knife. All right, we're actually good there. We got a good burr. Or the burr's gone, I mean. Got a good edge. So I'm going to clean that off, and I'm going to move this next stone. I'll finish that story in a second. This next one's going to be that Proyan glass stone. This is a cheapie. I'm going to clean off the load up. So those that are new, the load up here, as you can see, there's darker spots on this stone. What that is that's metal deposits. You can use a Nakiri stone like these. This one here that's like a bluish tan color is a fixer stone. It's a little bit more coarse. The Nakiri stone is softer. Nakiri stone would be more designed for just removing the buildup without taking off a lot of stone material, where the fixer would be more for both. It would kind of take material off of the stone at a larger rate than the Nakiri, as well as clean out the deposits because it's taking out those layers. Anyway, this is a rust eraser, Sabitoru, Sabitoru. You can get them on Amazon, $8. I recommend it. I got a stock of them. I didn't realize I didn't need a stock of them, so maybe I'll give one of those away with a knife too. So, Sabitoru. Anyway, so that Rambo knife, they would give you that that little stone, and that knife, like I said, it wouldn't hold an edge for nothing. But how do I know? I was like 8 or 9 or whatever it was. So you'd put that thing on there, and I would probably hold that knife at like, if this was the edge, I don't want to screw it up again. I'd probably hold it like this, way up, and just move it back and forth. I couldn't figure out why I could never sharpen a knife. So anyway, I got tired of my kitchen knives being dull and using pull-through sharpeners. And I just started watching videos on how to sharpen. I learned, and that was years ago, and now I've got so much money and equipment, it's ridiculous. What I usually do after I clean the stone off, I rinse it, make sure it's rinsed. It drives me crazy if there's gunk on the stone. It doesn't matter, but for me it does. But I've got this kind of matting. It's that like cabinet liner. I've got it on an area over here, one of my tabletops, because this is my basement. Like I said, it's my little workshop basement. And I'll set it on those on its side, let it dry, let all the air get out, because you don't want to store them wet. They'll mold, and if they mold, that's going to be a bad day. They could also crack or have other problems. So anyway, but yeah, I've always wanted to sharpen. I got tired of those pull-through sharpeners because they'll destroy your knives. They will not do justice. And they will sharpen it, but they're pulling off so much metal, you'll be reduced to a little thin piece of metal after no time. So this is the 2000 mesh, as they have it graded here. I'll turn the light off. 7.1 micron. It is a glass stone. It's made by Proyan, I don't know. It is a very thick stone. If I compared it to my Shapton glass stones here, I'll just grab one of them. I'll grab my 500 grit. So with the Shapton, is this, yeah, 500. So as you'll see, very similar, right? This is more of a frosted glass. They're about, well, the Shapton's longer, but man, that Proyan, whatever, it's way, way thicker. I think this is 20? Yeah, it's either 15 or 20 millimeter where the Shapton's 5. I hope I'm not misquoting that. If I am, somebody please correct me. I'm pretty sure Shaptons are 5 because the rock stars are 10. I think. God, I could be totally wrong. I'm sorry if I'm misleading you guys. Anyway, it's a good stone. Don't expect Shapton glass. If you buy these, expect a 7.1 micron 2000 mesh stone. They did have a problem with one batch. I don't know how long ago. The problem was the binding agent. If I remember what I read, the binding agent was problematic for some reason. The process, something happened, and the stones would disintegrate easily. And they actually replaced quite a bit of them. Due to the kind of stone it is, you don't have to. I like to use distilled water. Distilled or filtered, it doesn't matter. Some people religiously use filtered water. I don't. I just use my nasty old tap water. Yeah, I guess you could kind of put mineral deposits from plain tap water in your stone, maybe. I don't know. I've never had that happen. Maybe pros do something. I don't know. But I just, like I said, I'll just use distilled water. Actually, I'm going to use filtered water too because I get tired of squeezing that bottle like that. Anyway, same thing. Same with the edge, right? Same as on the 1000 stone. Nothing changes. I just follow the same pattern, same routine. 10 strokes, same angle. Do the burr removal on the stone and the stropping. So let's get to doing that. You'll see how this stone builds up, or not builds up, but gets really muddy real quick. Man, this thing cuts for what it is, and like I said, it leaves a really good finish. I've actually stopped here on several of my kitchen knives. I just really enjoy this stone. It feels very similar to my Shapton Rockstar 2000. I mean, the Rockstar is, like, by and large, better. And the reason I say better is I believe it's more consistent. You'll see here that just kind of wipes off. So that's just like a slurry, you know, which that's not a bad thing. But yeah, the Rockstar, I don't know. It might leave a slightly better edge. Yeah, I don't know though, because this leaves a really good edge. I would not use this stone, so. But yeah, I think this, like I said, I bought this on AliExpress, 22 bucks, and that's shipped if I'm not mistaken. And they run specials on AliExpress, Proyan. Get it from actual Proyan site, or store, whatever you call it on AliExpress. See, I've already got a burr. So that, I mean, that is fast. Because there's, you know, a lot of clone stuff out there on AliExpress, and they even clone their own stuff. So I'll wipe this off real quick. But yeah, make sure you get it from the Proyan store. If anybody wants a link, I can put one in the description. Or I could put one in the comments if you guys actually want to try one out and see exactly where I got it from. They got grits that range up to, I think, 10,000. I think. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure I've seen at least 10,000. They might go higher. I don't know. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to give it one more, just because. One more roll on this side. Number one, because I really like the way this stone feels. The feedback is amazing. Like where some of the softer stones, you'll actually gouge them if you start to trail off some, and your angle kind of moves. This this actually is really good. It lets you know when you're screwing up, but it doesn't punish you for it like some stones will. And it reminds me of the Shaptons in that regard. They're really good with their feedback. Oh yeah, man, that's so crazy. I'm telling you, I'm thinking about buying an entire set of these stones and then doing a complete shootout with them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you if it'll show up here. Let's try it the light off. This is the side I haven't worked on yet. So while you probably can't see very well, you can just kind of see that that's a matted edge, so to speak. If I flip to the side that I was just working on, look at that polish. Already. That thing's working on a mirror shine. Like, and that's a 2000 grit edge. Now again, you can get some stones that are like a hazy, is that Kasumi finish or something? But yeah, I really hope that comes through in the video. If not, I'll upload some pictures, some stills, because man, it's just beautiful. And I'm not going to go any further than this. Man, I just felt hair. Sometimes it'll on these stones, it'll do that too. I'll feel what I'm sure is hair on the stone, but it's actually the wire edge. Same thing as the burr, right? It'll come off in one good solid piece. All right, so flipping to the other side, same process all over again. I can't wait for the cut test. Man, the first time I did this cut test, I probably cut, gosh, about a quarter of a magazine worth of pages. I just could not believe it. I was trying every section of the blade. I was like, okay, maybe it just did it in one spot, you know, who knows? No, it was the whole thing. I will tell you though, with this stone, I did run into one thing that worried me at first. So when I first got it and used it, it was a little softer feeling. And this is, again, just the first use. And I used my Atoma 400 to lap it. And it felt like it was really coming off like a paste on the Atoma. And on top here, it had these sections like this. There's 4 of them. And they were gray while the outside of them was white, and then like in the middle was a line. So imagine, you can probably see that kind of drawing in that. So imagine these little areas like this with a line here, a line down here, but these spots like this were gray, and it was on both sides. And I was like, well, that doesn't seem right. So I kept working with it. I lapped it 3 times, 4 times, and all that gray went away. And now I'm left with a completely white stone. I don't know if it was just some weird top layer. I don't know if it was some weird coating. I have no idea. I just know that after that's gone, this thing is amazing. I don't know if everyone's experience will be the same, but it was my experience. Shit. I did it again. I hope not. I really cut off some of... I really got to pay attention, guys. I'm so sorry. I hope I didn't just jack that edge up like I did with the stupid clamp. If so, I guess I'll just dull it, start over, record a new one, and upload tomorrow instead. I've lost count, because I can kind of just tell just by how it feels. Man, again, I know you can flip that burr edge over quickly whenever you've already done one side, but it's raised a heck of a burr, hell of a burr. What am I doing here? I'm a man, right? They can't demonetize you or give you any kind of hell for saying hell, right? All right, one more time. Then we'll move on to our burr removal. And on this stone, you actually might be able to see the burr come off. I've seen it come off on this stone numerous times. These stainless steels like this 420J for these cheaper Japanese knives, they don't usually come off in one piece like a lot of the Shirogami or Aogami's steels do. And that's just because it's the kind of steel, it's not super high quality. All right, I'm gonna wipe this off. So while we're doing this, and I'm probably boring you guys to tears, again, Any questions for newcomers or people that have done it for a while alike? Ask away. If you got questions about these stones, if you got questions about stones that you don't have and that you want, that either I may have or I have coming, let me know. I always answer all questions. Make sure that's not... Just double checking my edge here. I'm going to do it one more time. I love to answer questions because I love to help. And I kind of consider it my way of giving back to those that have helped me through the years. So yeah, don't be afraid to ask. I always answer. I've got a video that's been up since 2020 that's on a guitar pedal that I posted. People are still asking questions on it, even to this day, and I still answer them. So I'm never too busy for my audience. And I may have a small audience, but yeah, again, get me to 500 subscribers, guys, and we'll do a giveaway. And as those giveaways grow, like 1,000, etc., as we go on, I'm going to do higher priced items. So I do plan, again, this isn't going to be, it'll probably be 1,500 or 2,000 subscribers. I'll probably, maybe 1,000 subscribers. I'll do a white steel, white #2 steel Giotto or something, or a Bunka or whatever. We'll figure something out, but we'll do one of those good steels. All right, here we go. Burr removal. Let's see if we get one. Not really. I mean, you can see pieces of the metal, which is a good indicator. Also, I'd be open to suggestions if you guys would like to see certain knives in a contest. Obviously, starting out early like this, I'm not going to go get a super expensive Yoshihiro or something. And I'm not going to do that, you know, at like 500 subscribers. And that's, I'm not rich. I'm still a working man. But I will do what I can. I got no problem at 1,000 subscribers doing, you know, $150, $200 knife. I could do that. I'd be glad to. All right, let's just see if we've removed the burr. And we have. It doesn't take much when you get into these higher grits. At least that's my experience. Your mileage may vary. I don't know. Always check and make sure. Stropping strokes now. I'm trying not to do the J pattern. I've done that a couple times now. I feel good about it. Again, I have no idea why. I just know people do it. One of the techniques I do for the stropping technique is I like to follow the edge down, especially in this direction. Don't know why. Again, it just has always worked for me. So I'll put my finger kind of close to the edge, right? And then this other finger will be next to it, and then I bring it down, and then I'll just slide as the knife slides. I try to kind of keep my hand in one place. It just kind of helps me keep balance. So, again, you guys may not have the same issues that I have. You might have worse issues than I have. Everybody's different. Find what suits you. That's the best way to go about it. All right. Man, we're feeling pretty good. All right, those that have stuck with me, it's now time for the cut test. Hopefully I don't bang it against this stupid clamp. It's right there. Yes, swung the knife over low yesterday after that video, and man, I crashed right into it. So in case it showed up, now this other side has some of that kind of a mirror thing going on too. It's so crazy. Again, for a really inexpensive Chinese stone. I mean, like I said, I paid 22 bucks shipped to my door for that. On Amazon, I believe they're about 30 bucks, 30. I don't know. It just depends. Again, you can find a deal. It cleans up real good too. Before I do this test, I'll set that right there. I'm just going to wipe this off real quick. Set it over here to dry. I have noticed this with this stone. if you wipe its face while it's wet, it kind of smudges up with gunk from your hand and leaves traces on it. When it's completely dry, you can just take a paper towel and wipe that right off. All right, moment of truth. Does he suck? Or did he actually get it without hitting shit this time? All right, same piece of paper I couldn't cut through earlier. Make sure you guys can see it. And we'll have to do it here kind of close so you can hear it. Now that knife did not cut at all earlier. And that just glided, whatever, through that. So push cut. Oop, let me get on a better spot here. My wet fingers were there. I mean, so this thing is like a laser beam. I mean, if you could feel this, it's literally just gliding right through the paper. It's insanity. I'm gonna see if I can do this like I tried to do the other day. I'm gonna cut this off right about here. And what I'll do, and it may not work, I don't know, we'll see, is I'll just jab this piece of paper into the blade. Well, that's folded right there, so it may not work. But it did. Holy crap. So that stone, I'm going to tell you, that and the King 1000, you know, we can, there, this is folded in half, and then I'll just roll it over here into a little cone. Man, super sharp knife. All right, guys, there you have it. This insanely inexpensive Japanese Nakiri, whatever you want to say, and a King 1000 stone and that Proyan stone. I'm in this with the stones, less than 70 bucks. You won't regret it. I'll give some of these away. I'm also going to give away some sharpening stones with some giveaways soon. So remember, 500 giveaways. 500 subscribers is the first giveaway, and it's going to be a couple knives like this. So anyway, guys, appreciate you guys tuning in. Look forward to seeing more of you. Leave some questions and comments down below. Even if they're hating on me, it's still something, right? Critiques, I'm open for them. If you want to know anything, hit me up. If you want to see anything, let me know. I got a range of stones. So appreciate you guys. Peace, love. See you on the other side.